Alrighty, let's get started. Welcome to A2NewTech meetup tonight. My name is David Nesbitt. I'm your host. And thanks to everybody for making time to join us tonight. I know there's a lot of things you could be doing, but you're here with us, and I appreciate that. Absolutely. So this meetup has been going since 2009. There's been 100 plus meetups. More than 300 companies have pitched this event in 2009, which is pretty amazing. We have over 6,800 members in climbing. And last year we did 60 pitches. We do this every month here on the third Tuesday of the month. So first, quick question, just kind of get a sense of who's in the room. Who's their first time at A2NewTech meetup tonight? Raise your hand. Awesome. Welcome. Yeah, like 50% of the room. That's super cool. So welcome to all of you. Hope you have a great experience tonight. Make sure to meet some folks tonight and make some interesting, learn some things about companies in the area and about the people around you. Who has been out before, the other half of the room? You can take a look at those folks and yeah, throw a hand up, there you go. Learn some things from them about what A2NewTech is all about. Learn kind of what's been helpful for them, and we'd love to have you back next month in future meetups as well. Who is hiring in the room? Got a few, maybe 10 folks hiring for positions, which is great. If you're looking for a position, take note of those. And who's looking for a position? Raise your hand. Yeah, and we also probably have some who are not going to say anything but are secretly taking note. Okay, one more show of hands if you will humor me. Who was at the Decide Accelerator Demo Day last week? Okay, a few people at Decide. And how about the Ken Siegel talk at Michigan Theater? A few more, awesome. So, there's a thriving tech ecosystem here in Ann Arbor, way beyond just this meetup or the companies that you know about. There's a lot going on. Those events are just an example of that. So many great things going on here, and this meetup is a place where we hope is a kind of a hub to learn about those things that are going on, connect to the people that are doing interesting work in technology. And so, yeah, we're glad that you're here. This meetup is important because there are a lot of people doing work in technology, coming up with ideas in Ann Arbor, trying to figure out what's next for them, building companies here in town. And so how are you going to know all these people and connect with them and learn about what the opportunities are and help out people that you can help? It is by connecting with them through events like this and communities like this. And so this is an important spot to kind of help us to learn about what's going on in the community and just hear about all the new ideas and the older ideas that are still going and growing, and also meet other people that are building and shaping tech here in Ann Arbor for the years to come. So you never know who you're going to run into tonight that might shape the future for you. So keep your mind open and meet some folks, and don't be shy. Come over to Pizza House with us afterwards too and do some networking, as I feel like some of our best connections and learnings actually happen in that time when people are just chatting and getting to know each other more informally. Something else I want us to think about is I think all of us would love to be part of a tech community that is supportive and encouraging and full of resources and helps each other out. And that starts with each one of us. And so tonight, think about how you can help someone that you're talking to. A lot of us probably have our own reasons that we're here and reasons why we love to come to this and meet people and kind of our own priorities. But encourage you to also look around and figure out who you can help out, someone with less experience or younger who just needs the resources that you can offer them, and make that happen tonight. Make that your goal tonight. Afterwards, like I mentioned, definitely come with us to Pizza House. We have free pizza tonight, again, courtesy of Ann Arbor Spark, and just a networking time. So we'll wrap up a little bit before 8 o'clock here after our pitches and community announcements, and then we'll head over there to eat some pizza together. People can grab some drinks. So just a reminder note, we're not at Dominic's this month, which we have been this summer. So don't head over to Dominic's, but join us at Pizza House. Something to check into in the next month before the next meetup, if you're not already on it, is our Slack channel. madeina2.com/Slack is where you can sign up for that. So take note of that, check that out, sign up for the Slack channel. You'll see there are general announcements, a variety of different channels devoted to different topics, open jobs, and more. So if you want to connect with people outside of this event that might be in this room or maybe didn't make it this month, sign up for the Slack channel. We'd love to see you on there. Before we get started with our pitches, I also want to say thank you to a number of people and organizations that help make this event happen. All of us benefit from this, and there's a reason that we're here tonight, because this is a valuable opportunity and a valuable kind of event, and there's a lot of people that have made this happen over the years. So thank you to A2 Geeks, which is a nonprofit dedicated to making Southeastern Michigan and Ann Arbor a great place for geeks and creatives to live, work, and play. Also, thank you to Roger Rayle here in the front row taking video. Roger. So Roger does our video every month. You will see on this event, the meetup page for this particular event. He'll put a comment there eventually that has a link to the YouTube video of this meetup. So if you want to share that with someone who should have seen it, you think would really benefit from those pitches, if you want to come back to it, or if you want to see previous months, head to meetup and you can see we link the video at the bottom of the next month event from the previous month. So look at October's event, you'll see that September link as well.
We also have a list of all the previous ones.
We also have a list, which Roger, can you
put that on the link?
Awesome, we'll put that in the comments as well. If you want to hire Roger for any kind of video work like this or any other video work, you can look up R2Vive, R2VIVE, which is Roger's company. Also, thank you to organizers and people that have helped make this meetup happen over the years. Doug Song, Zach Steinler, Scott Gosey, David Bloom, David Corcoran, Brian Kelly, Brooke Boyle, and others. Some of those are in this room, so appreciate the work that they've put in to make this event happen, and to curate presenters over the years. And also thank you to the Entrepreneurship Clinic here at the U of M Law School. They help us get to this space every month for this room. We need a lot of room for a lot of people, so we really appreciate their help. Dana Thompson is the founding director of Michigan Law's Entrepreneurship Clinic. And if you're a company in Michigan, especially a startup, you can get free IP or corporate and various legal services from law students here at the university, which is a great opportunity. And so you can contact Laura Schiltz, the clinic administrator, and they'll get you hooked up. So I encourage you to look into that if that's something that could be helpful. Last one I'll mention is Ann Arbor Spark. I mentioned them briefly earlier. They pick up the tab for our pizza this month, which we greatly appreciate. And so Ann Arbor Spark, if you're not familiar with them, they're committed to bringing together organizations and individuals to support the growth of companies and creation of jobs here in southeastern Michigan. And so that's Ann Arbor Spark. They're located in the downtown area. There's also an office in Ypsi for the Spark East location. A2NewTech is always the third Tuesday of each month, like I mentioned. And so next month, we're gonna, in October, we have spots reserved for Venture for America companies. So you won't want to miss that. Make sure to come back and see those companies pitch as they've been prepared through the Venture for America program. And in November, which is our next month with open pitch slots, we'd love to have you or someone you know pitch if you have a good pitch to suggest in a company that you'd like to pitch. So you can email organizers at A2NewTech.org to do that. Some basic criteria we would say for kind of the type of companies that we would look for to pitch here is that you've done some customer validation, spoken with some prospective customers at least, if not paying customers, and ideally have at least some customer discovery done, if not paying customers or pilots, and hopefully you built a prototype as well. So you have something to actually show and a little bit of a meat to the presentation to show what your concept and your product is. Like I mentioned, the agenda for tonight, we're going to run till about 8 p.m. here in this room. We'll have 5 companies doing a 5-minute pitch, and then a 5-minute Q&A afterwards where you can ask them questions about their pitch, about their company to learn more and to dig in a little bit. And so tonight we have 5 great companies here to pitch for us. After that, we're going to have our community announcements time. So if you have an event, a meetup, you're hiring for a position or looking for one or another program, you're looking for a co-founder, please use that community announcements time to spread the news and make an announcement here. You'll have 1 to 2 minutes at the very end. I'll call everybody up, we'll line up and give a quick pitch just to get the word out about what you are trying to promote. And so think about yours now and make a pitch at the end. Another note about the Q&A section. So after the pitches, you're going to have 5 minutes. Each of the pitches, you'll have 5 minutes to ask them questions. You can raise your hand and we'll call on you to answer a question that we don't have confusion. If multiple people are ready to ask a question. It's tempting to want to give feedback. A lot of those people in this room love thinking about new ideas and products and startups. And so you'll probably have some opinions or ideas or thoughts. If you have a question, please ask it in the form of a question. Try not to give just your opinions. Give them a question to respond to that will help them engage the rest of the room too. And so, although it's tempting to give them your opinions or suggestions, something they should do, try to phrase it in the form of a question and really give them something to give you a good response for. Alrighty, that is everything before we jump into these great pitches. And so I'm going to have a timer running at the start at the front of the room to let them know how much time we have left. and then we're gonna jump into our pitches now. So first pitchers we have tonight is VIP Loaner. So we have John Schmatzer, and you guys can come up now. John Schmatzer and Luke Donahue. So VIP Loaner is a customer experience focused loaner fleet management system for new vehicle dealerships.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to view our pitch. As stated, my name is Luke Donahue. This is John Schmatzer. We're here to talk about a relatively simple loaner fleet management product. At its core, it's an inventory management product, but it's something that's a niche market with a lot of opportunity to run in an antiquated space. This is John.
So I'm John Schmatzer. My background is in the emerging analytics space on the automotive sector. If you're familiar with the Chariot Transportation Mobility company, I did their second generation telematics product, as well as offer a number of telematics solutions for the automotive industry.
And my name is Luke. So I spent the last 6 years in the automotive industry working with dealerships, and most recently I started with JD Power looking at retail pricing and portfolio planning for a few OEMs. And we have a third partner who's not here today, who's actually the VP of Retail Operations for Penske Automotive Group. This idea originally came from him. That was a need that they're experiencing across their dealerships. So where this really came to a head for us was a customer experience that my wife experienced. This is my wife. We met in Michigan. She purchased a new Mazda CX-5. Nice vehicle, pretty well equipped on the inside. But she realized after a couple days that the heated steering wheel didn't work. It was burning her hand. She didn't have any thermal regulator on it, so she brought it in for service. It would take a few days to get the part, so she went in, service shop made her wait an hour and a half. Of that hour and a half, they spent 30 minutes filling out just paperwork, forms, just over and over again. And what they ended up giving her was a loaner vehicle. So this loaner vehicle is 5 years old, crank windows, heat didn't work, there was a snowstorm the next day, front wheel drive. Got her from A to B, but it was a miserable experience, and all of the money, time, and effort that Mazda invested in making sure that she switched from her Jeep to a Mazda was lost because she's never buying a Mazda again. It ruined her brand perception because of her in-service experience. Oh, it smelled like smoke too. So with this experience, we went through and we identified what went wrong. They didn't know where the car was. They didn't know the condition of the car that she was being given. They didn't know whether or not the car was available. That was part of the hour and a half wait. They had paper rental contracts which required them to type in over or fill out over and over by hand. And speed, it just took way too long. Same thing on the check-in process. The gas levels are all eyeballed. Is it enough? Is it not enough? People have an actual fear of bringing back a loaner vehicle and getting charged up the where for not filling the vehicle back up enough, and they end up overfilling. Turnaround time, time commitment, and really you pay at a separate location from the service tech that you go and talk to. These are a lot of the problems that we identified in the process that she experienced. Okay, so digging in, there's really two customers here. There's the automotive dealership and there's the consumers. The automotive dealerships view this as a cost center. And it's something that they spend money on every month, and it doesn't necessarily make a lot of money for them. While customers demand a seamless experience. They demand something that in every aspect of their life that works for them and is quick and is respectful of their time. Dealerships on average spend $770 per month per vehicle in their service. That includes depreciation, costs of gas, costs of other expenses, cleaning the vehicle, chasing it around, washing it, anything like that. And the average dealership, based on the service that we put together, 43 dealerships had an average of 73 vehicles in their loaner fleet. So every month they're spending over $56,000, mostly in depreciation costs on these loaner fleets. But they manage that $56,000 expense with paper contracts, tracking by pegboards a lot of times, visual gas, all the problems that we just listed. Customers, on the other hand, have no choice in their rental vehicles, when really rental vehicles is the best opportunity for a test drive. Hertz put out some research a couple years back, 2015, that said 72% of people that rent a vehicle have a positive experience. Their next purchase is based on one of their experiences in a rental vehicle. 69% improve their perception of a brand by having a positive experience inside of those rental vehicles. And what I think is most important, over 50% of people experience new car technology in vehicles. So average age of the vehicle on the road right now is over 10 years. Those customers having a 10-year or older car have 10-year or older technology in their car, and their first experience oftentimes with Bluetooth, with lane departure, is in a rental vehicle. So it's a big opportunity for remarketing, I believe.
So thank you, Luke. So just really quick to finish up, from a product offering, we offer both a centralized dashboard ecosystem for tracking the vehicles as they're being loaned out, as well as providing the dealership a full check-in, check-out process at an app level. So instead of having them at your desk and instead of hoists when you come into the dealership, you have just everything in a phone. This is addressing both the checkout and the check-in problems, solutions around the check-in status, up-to-date conditions of the fleet, vehicle storage, understanding their digital contacts. And what we're going to be doing is using our software to apply lean concepts on the analytics front.
So excited about the product and went a little long, my apologies, but I'll wrap it up for here.
Thanks, guys. The questions will help us dig in a little bit more. So let's go to the audience questions. Who's got some questions for these guys?
What research have you done into what kind of price point you can sell this at?
Sure. So the existing solutions that exist out there charge approximately $2,000 a vehicle, per dealership per month. That's usually the closest competitor that we would have is DealerWare. It's $500 a month plus $25 a month per dongle that's installed in the vehicle. Over here on the left.
What's your ask from this group? How can we help?
So there's two big asks. One is we're looking for other experience and feedback on what your experience within dealerships. There's really not a lot of research specifically about the loaner process. There's a lot on rental vehicles, a lot on the car buying process, but not necessarily about what experience you have in the dealership. And obviously in the next couple months, we're going to be putting together the actual launch for our beta testers. We've got 30 dealerships signed up, ready to go whenever we get software to them. So we're going to need some help on the UX, UI design side, as well as product development.
Are there some dealerships that don't have this problem because they have their own internal system, or is this pretty much everywhere that you guys have looked and studied?
Yeah, this is pretty much across the board. There are competitors that are out there. I think it was on one of the other slides. Their product offerings lack in a lot of areas. My local Chevy dealer, I spent a lot of time there in the mornings before work, and when I told them I was working on this, they said, well, please, for the love of God, give me something better than what I'm working with right now. And they're all Windows 95 based software pretty much, so.
And one of the key technological differentiators is we'll be collecting all the data both off the vehicle and the customer when they rent the vehicle. And the idea is that the next time they come into the dealership, we can provide a loaner that matches both their preferences from a drive experience standpoint, as well as potential new feature functionality that they might want to purchase on the next vehicle. So there's definitely an analytics component that will differentiate us from the current state of the market.
How do shifts in car dealerships and like the car auto market handle this? Like Tesla's and electric cars in general have a lot of moving parts. Sure. So a lot less dealerships. How does that impact? It might be a long run.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla's a little bit, of an edge case in the current ecosystem, right? Everyone else is a dealership-based sales model. So we're going after the larger market. If Tesla gets to the point where they're really scaled in the market, the benefit for us is we get out of the hardware business, we get out of having to manage the logistics, and we can be purely a software company providing analytics on the top. So it's actually more beneficial if the OEM already has the telematics APIs built into their vehicles.
Yes.
So you're going to use the OBD2 connector in the vehicle?
If we need to. So it depends on the OEM. So if the OEM already has an API that's cloud-based that we can latch into, obviously we're going to do that because it'll enable us to cut costs. But from offering a standardized experience across OEM, yes, we'll use an OBD2 port on the vehicle.
So do you have the device already designated and from reading all this information off of the OBD2?
Yeah, so we've done a first open source solution. We have the prototype unit that we're testing right now, and then we're also looking at a more advanced unit that offers complementary Wi-Fi to the customer as well.
I have a question. Yes. What's the target market you estimate for an offering like this?
So there are 18,000 dealerships in the United States. Of those 18,000, only 40% of them use some sort of solution that's automated in any sort of way. So we're looking 5 years from now we're targeting a 10% market share of that. We'll put us at $3.6 million in revenue per month if we're achieving the $2,000 per dealership.
Second question, it seems like, you're saying it's a cost center for these dealerships right now. How do you flip this from being just more cost to actually helping them make more money?
That's the fun part about it is, I mentioned dealerware earlier, and that's what's got to talk about competition, but they have published a lot of the research over the amount of savings that they've had, that their dealerships had experienced by implementing these solutions. The savings come from two places. One, faster turnaround time. So the cars oftentimes come back to a dealership and they take 3 days to clean and get back out to earn money again. Getting them through a process workflow quickly gets them back on the road sooner and gets them to be able to charge additional rental fees. The other side is gas collection and maintenance costs. So when you rent a vehicle and you go out and you bring it back with less gas at a dealership, they're a lot less likely to chase you down for the extra 4 gallons of gas than a car rental company is, because they're worried about the customer experience and irritating the customer, or the customer brings back with too much gas and you have other excessive costs on that side. So cost retention for the dealership makes it at least a cost neutral, and then customer retention long term is really the goal.
Alrighty, that's all the time we got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So our next company is Dreamgate VR, and so Craig Albert is here to pitch.
You do need it? Yeah. Just, I mean, it's already up and going, so I might as well.
So Dreamgate VR is an Ann Arbor-based virtual reality entertainment company creating wireless, free roaming virtual reality experiences and software.
Oh.
It got blocked by password. Oh, yeah, password. Thanks.
Write that pen real quick. So you got it open already, you said? Yeah, thanks. Yep. All right.
All right. I'm Craig Albert, CEO and founder of Dreamgate VR. We create premier virtual reality experiences for businesses around the world. So what you see here is a single person in one single player virtual reality game at a virtual reality arcade. And there are hundreds of virtual reality arcades in the nation right now. And they have an edge right now. They have some novelty because it's about $1,200 to get a VR headset going in your house. And that's a little expensive for most people who've never seen it before. So it's cheaper to jump in, give it a shot. But a year ago, it was $1,800 to get yourself a VR setup. And next year, it's probably going to be about $600. So that novelty is quickly wearing off. And any gaming system that has ever really taken off has had something that they don't currently have, and that is another player. Arcades around the world have other players. Experiences are more enjoyable together with other people. And that's actually what we provide. We provide a way for people to play virtual reality in the same world, in the same space, at the same time. So you could have 2 people in the same space if you got 12 foot by 12 foot space. Or why not 3 to 4 players in a 15 by 15 foot space? And maybe even up to 20 foot by 20 foot if your business has it, and have 4 to 5 players. So this is a little GIF showing people putting on the backpack, sort of like laser tag, putting on the headset, and this is at our Briarwood location. And when they go and they see their own hands, everybody's body is physically mapped to where it actually is in the world and in the virtual reality world, enough to high five and hang out together. And you're in there blasting robots together, and we have another zombie game too. So we're actually, by the end of the year, going to be implementing a 33 foot by 33 foot space and design our games for that. There's some really exciting game potential for that. So we're really excited about that. And the cost for these arenas has gone down about 80% since last year because of new tracking technologies. So we want to ride that wave of growth that's likely to happen. This is all operating on our software platform called Dreamgate Portal. Dreaming Up Portal does all the fancy orchestration in the background to make sure all the computers are doing what they need to do at the exact right time so that whoever's running it just hits that launch button and it just works. Running our own location has taught us a lot of features that these guys will need to actually make it attractive to customers, like having a leaderboard, a spectator camera so people can watch in, microphone communication, and all that. And we have that all built in. We spent about a year figuring that all out. And our first introductory offer to get things out the door is $525 a month for a 4-player arena with 2 games. So you can run your own business, pay this per month, and you'll get a license, and you can install your own hardware. We have 2 games right now with a third on the way, which is a sort of Harry Potter Lord of the Rings style game. And after we release that, we want to bring on content partners, and then only take about 20% of the revenue. They get to keep the rest, and they can distribute it to all of our clients. So there's another target demographic that is family entertainment centers. Their growth has waned or has slowed down over the past couple decades. And if you look at this could very well be in the 90s, and that's why people don't show up, because they have things at home that are cooler than this. So they need something that's a little bit cooler than this, and that's what we want to provide them, but they don't know technology, so we also offer a turnkey solution, all nuts and bolts included. We come in and set it up, train them, and then get them going, and they can just operate it. And then they become a licensee, so we get to get more licensees that way. So the overall market is about $2.7 billion that we're targeting. And location-based virtual reality right now is $300 million. That's projected to grow to about $2 billion in 3 to 4 years. Then there's laser tag arenas, which are likely going to switch over to virtual reality, and of course, family entertainment centers. Right now, we have 1 early access pilot licensee slightly up north in a place called Escape VR. They're testing things out, telling us features they need. And we have 12 virtual reality arcades that already reached out to us. We didn't even hunt for them. They just found us, Googled us, and they really want to use our software, so they want to try it out when we release. And our Briarwood location has managed to get $65,000 in revenue in the past 10 months. So we're launching this soon, our portal soon, in a couple weeks in the beginning of October, and we're really excited about that. We're also excited about sort of being the system that operates all parts of the virtual reality arcades of the future, that have motion platforms, multiple arenas, and even single player. This just came out today, a Forbes article about other free roaming companies out there, and the fact that no one has a standard to operate on. And so they even wrote in there that this industry needs a standard, and so that's what we're trying to be. We're a team of three passionate guys about video games. We grew up playing video games. In our adulthood, we made video games, and we just, it's just what we love. And so when we make a game and people really enjoy it, it really touches us. So we're passionate about it and facilitating other game developers to distribute their content. So that's our mission. We want to make these experiences real for people, and we're looking for people to help advise us on fundraising and talented game developers and other people that might be interested in helping out the project. Thanks.
Alrighty, questions?
Have you, has there been any issues with scaling like the back end to handle, going from, a couple players to more and more? Has that been a cost issue, or has it not been a non-issue?
It's really not that much of an issue. It's just the networking really doesn't use that much bandwidth when it comes to like modern Wi-Fi. So we can have like 8 players there. It doesn't really cause any issues. The biggest issue is maybe like occlusion for the sensors and stuff like that. But that once you've got positioning down, it doesn't actually harm things too much. So bandwidth is actually not that bad. Sorry, I'm pointing. I don't know why.
So I'm just comparing it to other consoles and through history, obviously it's progressed to online, sitting at home playing Fortnite, whatever.
Yeah.
Have you guys, how can you implement playing via the internet rather than being in a actual space, an arcade, for example? Have you looked at that at all? Or?
There's potential cool things you could do where you could have a friend log in at home while you guys are in the warehouse running around and they're flying a jet around or something like that. But nothing where you're actually in the space. It's sort of a pretty integrated experience, and so there's a lot of expectations about what you can and cannot do when you can actually walk 100 feet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We have a question over here. Go ahead.
So 5G is supposed to be able to provide bandwidths as fast enough to provide a cordless VR experience.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself taking advantage of that technology as it's starting to be rolled out later this year?
Well, as far as wireless VR is concerned, we're actually really looking at the Santa Cruz, the wireless Oculus headset that's coming out next year. In that case, you'd be streaming video over 5G, and I would have to see whether or not there'd be latency low enough to make that actually not be like nauseating. But as far as similarly, the wireless like Oculus headset that's coming out with controllers and everything, that's the $600 thing that's likely to be around $600, and that there is potential for there to be some sort of a software to help people like in the middle of like a like soccer field just start like a multiplayer arena right there. I don't know of anyone that's really looking into that, but we are.
Yes.
But your funding requirement?
Funding requirement? We're just looking to do an initial funding round of $100,000 to get sort of marketing and a little bit of development on new content and reaching out to new partners.
Yes, middle.
This looks very much like augmented reality, and I see that like this market is really growing right now. Right? So do you see that as a potential competition, or are you planning to expand into the augmented reality space?
Augmented reality.
Augmented.
Yes and no. I would say right now we're focusing on facilitating like location-based, family entertainment centers, trying to help them facilitate people coming to their specific location. So that's our focus right now. Augmented reality headsets that would replace what we're having right now will probably take another like 3 years to be something that's comparable. But before it comes off the cell phone and like actually becomes a really great headset that is as compelling. So we'll keep an eye on it. Once that starts getting traction and the headsets start having like a better field of view, then we'll probably start getting involved in some way.
Question in the far back right.
Since half the room is probably gaming geeks, what else makes you special to be able to carry this out and make it happen?
We ship 2 games, and we managed to ship games within 4 months or so. We've managed to find a pretty agile way to get games out the door, and we've had people playing our games at Briarwood Mall. Right, and they're having a great time playing the games. In fact, we're surprised because we play it so many times that we start being like, "Is this actually fun still?" And then people play and they come out and they're like, "That's so great." And we have regulars that come like multiple times, and I'm like, "You're just not bored yet," So, we're sort of feeling good about like customer response at this point. But it gives us a sense of momentum.
Last question right here.
So do you have like SDK, or you mentioned like content providers, content partners?
Yeah. So there's different implementations where they can use our plugin to add in new features, but it's actually a RESTful API and then some other like app packaging instructions, sort of like you would for the App Store. And as long as you follow these rules and log into the servers that we have very specific IPs for, you just follow that documentation and you're pretty good to go.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks.
Our next presenter tonight is Scott McIntyre from CoVentures. Scott, if you want to come up. I also have this extra laptop if you guys want to grab this. Anyone? So CoVentures is fusing academic, corporate, and community goals through developing leading tech and strategies that drive entrepreneurship and fulfill employment. So an interesting fact about Scott and his company: when their partner company, Startup Genius, pivoted to focus on corporations with massive hiring bottlenecks, this caused Scott to recognize that serving only entrepreneurs is missing 9 out of 10 potential customers, since most people aren't entrepreneurs. Now his company helps the other 9 also by aligning them with companies that are issuing challenges on their platform.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. So I've been coming here for a long time. It's really a pleasure to see everybody in here, and it's been a while since I've been here, so thank you for having me back. I appreciate it. My life's work is basically wrapped up in what CoVentures is representing tonight, and what I want to talk about, as soon as I get my notes up, is the nature of the business being in 3 parts. So I guess I'll just get right into it. CoVentures is comprised of 3 units: CoCampus, which you see on the left, Startup Genius, and Insight. Co-campus is the main reason that I'm here tonight, because I'm going to be seeking at the end of the conversation on my last slide, what am I asking for, is going to be some tech support, specifically database and backend, and a little bit of UX and UI as well. Startup Genius is an already functional company. It's really in its version 1.0, but it has clients, as we'll talk about in a few minutes. And Insight is an app that I built in order to equitably judge pitch competitions. I found that judges oftentimes vote with fairly arbitrary decisions based on how good someone's slides are. I pride myself on slides. And how well they dress, or if anyone in the stage is in a military uniform, they almost always place first, second, or third. And I think that's a disservice to the technology that's actually being described in the pitch. So one of the big problems that we're dealing with as a culture are global competition, academic inefficacy, and generational shift in expectations. I can get into the details. I'd much rather just talk about the basis of this. The basis of it is we have a lot of jobs that aren't being filled. That's a real problem, especially when the universities that are exporting students aren't really prepared for those jobs that are available. Not necessarily part of the university, but they're big ships, they turn slowly, and so adoption of new technologies, new practices, new fields is very difficult to do. The bottom line is, and this is the part that really impresses me, only 2% of students on survey, and I have stats for all of these figures, by the way, references to all of them, 2% are being prepared for entrepreneurship. That's pretty disturbing. At the University of Michigan, I think everybody's shocked. I think everybody here has access to entrepreneurship development. Most schools don't, and even if they do, they're pretty weak. Beyond that, we're already seeing 40 million millennials currently self-employed. And within the next 2 years, 50% of everyone in the room is going to be self-employed or freelancing. We're not prepared for it. So as far as the solutions to this, obviously there are many. What I'm facing is, I started with a model that dealt primarily with entrepreneurs, people that had an idea and they wanted to get there. What we realized in the recent pivot is that with all the jobs that aren't being fulfilled, and with the fact that 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs, whether they have a great idea or not, they're probably not going to be cut out for the discipline and the grit that's required to be an entrepreneur. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of thick skin. So we wanted to serve everybody, and we can do that by issuing corporate challenges on our platform, as well as people coming into the platform to work on their idea through roadmaps. We can also have corporations put challenges on there, whether it's an R&D or whether they're doing it for recruitment efforts. With universities, we found great success with universities in doing this. So we're dealing with outdated modes and methods, career fairs, ads, referrals. They're slow, they're opaque, they're ineffective. Outplacement centers are really just kind of housing places for people that have been displaced. They're not really providing career development services there. And the same is true with co-working spaces, which are primarily a real estate play, by and large, and we're seeing a lot of them enter the space right now, and that phrase is starting to dissolve, and we're going to need to have differentiators for those co-working spaces to graduate beyond just a real estate play for a task desk and a nice yogurt station, that type of stuff. And then communities, ultimately. We're going to have 40 pending municipal bankruptcies this year. It's not just Detroit that's gone through this. We've got legions of other communities that are facing unstable economies. So that's a big issue. So Co-Campus is the first product that I developed when I was at the University of Toledo. I was Director of Student Entrepreneurship and Engagement at the university. And so I had the first observation that I saw was, wow, we have so many resources at this school, but nobody knows where they are. No one's talking to each other. And that type of lack of communication really created a lot of noise in the atmosphere and not a whole lot of action. So I sought to change that, and this is the program that I'm going to need help with on the database side. We've already spec'd it all out. We're ready to go. We just need some funding to do it and some people to help. But the bottom line is it's a directory of people, a directory of resources, an interactive map, and a shared calendar. These 3 things I've determined through research in the last 3 years are what's required to build an ecosystem, to have a shared community of purpose in this regard, and that's what we're planning to do. Startup Genius, as I described, is already live. This is not my company. I'm a senior advisor. I helped develop the company. We were the first school to adopt it and do beta testing for it. I'm a shareholder and an exclusive reseller of the platform. So what we're doing right now is some pretty impressive stuff. As I said, the shift into the corporate side takes care of the other 9 people that aren't served in the 9 out of 10 people that try entrepreneurship and either aren't set up for it or they're just failing beyond it and they need a job. In that case, what Startup Genius does is it actually qualifies people through corporate challenges to show their mettle in the course of a 3-week challenge or a 4-week challenge, submit their ideas for a solution, and not only potentially get that idea accepted by the corporation for fee or for hire, but qualify for a job, especially if they're a student. So it's really pretty fascinating. But beyond all that, it really leads to the community development, both the freelancer marketplace, service providers, things of this nature. These are some screenshots from the platform as it is now. You see challenges on the left, you see projects on the middle, and you see guides on the right. Insight is again an app that I designed to take care of pitch competitions with equitability, and everybody seems to really like the results. Beyond that, these are our clients at Startup Genius, some pretty big ones, as you see, Union Pacific, Strategic Air Command, University of Toledo, Boeing, all very pleased. Union Pacific, I always find that testimonials do the best job in sales. So there's some of our testimonials to wrap it up. And then why? We've got a great team with some pretty impressive exits over the years. Myself included, I've been in education technology since we created eCollege, the first virtual learning platform, and we sold it to Pearson for about $500 million in 2007. So since then, I've been doing a lot of volunteer work as president of the Crowdfunding Professional Association, the group that brought crowdfunding into the Jobs Act, and that's taken away a good bit of my time from entrepreneurship. But that's about it. Questions?
Awesome. Cricket. 2 minutes for questions. Who's got questions for Scott?
Crickets. Thank you.
So one of the biggest barriers to like entrepreneurship, especially for younger people, is health insurance, and especially as even more for older people. As you are having these groups of entrepreneurs, is there any way you look to provide or make that easier?
Rephrase that question, if you would.
Do you help with the number of entrepreneurs you have deal with some of those expenses like that make entrepreneurship a huge barrier?
As far as health insurance,
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that one poised before, but no, that's not something that we do. The platform itself is basically a repository of what we call roadmaps, and the roadmaps are supplied by experts in their field, whether it's me, whether it's a professor, whether it's a retiree, whether it's a corporation. They have a particular process that they design in order to achieve an outcome.
Okay.
Those roadmaps typically go from anywhere from 10 questions to 100 questions, such as, is your idea a product, a service, or a software? And then once they go there, the tree then splits and it goes into another section. By the time they're done answering a few questions, we've got them in a roadmap that fits specifically their product or their service in their industry. And then we guide them through that process, sometimes as fast as a weekend. We've had teams go through a whole process in a weekend. Most people do it on a part-time basis, and it takes them, better part of a semester as far as students go. And usually they're teams, 3, 4, 5 people. I don't know if that helps. But eventually, the marketplace that we also have in Startup Genius is going to accommodate the type of question that you would have, because we have lawyers, we have accountants, other service professionals, designers, videographers, et cetera, that participate with the startup teams that are formed as a result of the process. So when they're done with the process, one of the outcomes is, where do they go after they've hashed their idea through a lean process? Where are they going to go when they're ready to sit in front of any investor and say, this is what I've got, this is what I need? Well, some of those outcomes are further development support through accelerators. Some of them are going to be in an incubator that's specific to their trade. Some of them are going to be straight to investors. Some of them are going to go to market through a crowdfunding campaign. All of those services will be supplied in the platform as well.
In the back, Kevin.
So the distribution to get channels, will you be able to take a part of this and embed it in partners' websites to be able to provide access to these materials?
Well, we haven't really discussed private labeling per se.
Even with your name on it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the basic process of engaging a university incubator or a community venture development organization or a corporation is to go in and analyze exactly what their goals and outcomes are, and then we can kind of create an environment that suits their needs. So we'll brand, obviously, the front page, so when people go, they say it's all about Union Pacific in this case, or it's all about their particular project. So yeah, there will be a lot of customization in each one of the client customer interfaces. So thanks, Gavin.
Right here.
How to quantify the revenue opportunity here for this idea?
Thank you for asking.
Where would the money be? Who would
Right.
be paying for it?
Well, so that's actually interesting. A lot of people, and I faced a lot of friction going in, especially at universities where budgets are critical. And whenever you come in and go, I've got something new and it's going to change the way you do business, they just panic. And they say, how much is it going to cost me and why do I need to change? My job is secure. I'm a tenured professor, whatever that is. And so what we've actually done is created it in a way that actually costs nothing to the host organization. I refer to them as hosts as opposed to customers, because at the end of the day, what we're actually getting is an opportunity to bring revenue to their organization as opposed to taking it from. And we do that through subscription. So we've got subscription plans that start as low as even $5 a month for a student, which my position as an entrepreneur is if you can't afford $5 a month to get world-class guidance through your idea, then you're wasting your time trying to be an entrepreneur. $5 shouldn't be a barrier. And then upwards to $150 a month, particularly for someone in the freelance marketplace that wants to list their services for fee. So when it comes to that, our partner organizations will get between 20 and 30% of the revenue that comes in through the platform, and that's in perpetuity. So these annuities are actually going to substantially change the nature of their business so that they can accommodate more entrepreneurs. The problem with a room, whether it's a co-working space or an incubator, is we've only got so many task desks. We only have so many individuals that can help you and guide you and personally show you the way. If we can open that up virtually to a world of mentors, to a world of advisors, then we have a lot better chance to serve more people and buttress the economy in that local area. So ultimately, it's about capacity when it comes to co-working or any space that has a physical infrastructure. So yeah, the money is substantial, as you can see, $800,000 just for 2,000 alumni and 1,000 mentors is pretty ridiculous, and that's not even considering the cost that the students might bring in as well and the shared revenue. This model assumes that the students will be provided for free.
Great, thanks, Scott.
Pleasure.
Our next presenter is Parabricks. Mirzad Samadi is here to present to us. And Parabricks accelerates data to insight for DNA analysis to finish in 1 hour instead of days, which enables research centers, labs, and hospitals to diagnose and provide patient-specific medicine and care. Interesting fact about Mirzad, he has over 10 years experience in high-performance computing, and he's also an accomplished author who has published over 20 papers in the area of compiler optimizations for GPUs, heterogeneous computing, and machine learning. I think everyone is probably really impressed with that part of us because we know what that means, and the rest because we don't.
Thank you for that introduction. Hello everyone, my name is Mirzad Samadi. I'm the CEO of Parabricks, and we are providing GPU accelerated analysis of DNA sequencing. So I gave a talk here before. Today I'm here just to find a developer. So my talk is designed for finding developers. So I answer any questions that someone who might join our team will probably have. So that's my goal today. If I'm missing anything, let me know. So what is Parabricks? Let me give you a quick introduction. Everyone is talking about big data these days, but my personal belief is real big data is in genomics. This year we are generating hundreds of petabytes genomics data. And guess what? It's doubling every year. Every year we are sequencing more and more genomes. And this data, this large volume of data is all raw data. Someone needs to analyze it. And you make your cluster of CPU nodes and you are processing 100 petabytes this year. That cluster will be useless next year. And if you get new PC, new CPU, it cannot keep up with the Moore's law. Because Moore's law, even if it goes through Moore's law, it cannot keep up with this exponential growth of data. So our solution is to use GPUs. Graphics cards. Graphics cards are not only for gaming, you can do lots of stuff on it, as well as doing genomics analysis. So this is a study. They replaced 1,000 CPU servers in Stanford cluster with 3 GPU servers, 12 GPUs, and they get the exact same performance. Just imagine how much IT and maintenance cost you are saving by replacing that with this. And GPUs are getting faster every year. It's estimated to be 1000x by 2025. So it's a good processor to follow that exponential growth of data. So we started Parabricks to analyze that raw data by using GPUs. Today, we can do 2 days of computation in 1 hour. So we are providing 40 to 50 times acceleration just by using GPUs. That means faster turnaround, cheaper processing. And everyone wants that, but it's really hard to program those GPUs. So Parabricks will be a layer between user and GPUs. You can run it on-premise, you can run servers that are made by NVIDIA, IBM, Dell, HP, or you can run it on any public cloud. And genomics is the first step. We are going to different markets after that, after we made our name. So the next question is, why should I work with you? So this is page of NVIDIA blog about us, and it talks about what we are providing. But think about this. There's this thing called genomic revolution. And 5 years from now, when you go to clinic, the hospital, they take a blood sample from you, and in minutes, they should find out what's wrong, what can go wrong, and what is the right steps you should take to get better. And we want to be part of that. And I think that's the goal here. And it would be great to be part of that genomics revolution. So who are you? So let's talk about technical team. Business parts you can ask later. Ankit and I got our PhD from Computer Engineering Department of University of Michigan. And we've been working with Versal Monkey for more than 9 years now. We've been writing GPU programs for the whole 9 years. What will I learn if I join? You will learn everything. 40 to 50x acceleration is not easy. So you need to optimize everything, not only computation. You need to optimize I/O, memory, even operating system. You will learn GPU programming, different type of parallel programming. Do I have job next year? Development is fully funded for the next 2 years by NSF. IBM, HP, NVIDIA, Dell is selling for us. We have customers in 4 countries right now. Why should I work for a startup? You don't want to be like this. Join us. We got 20 pictures. And this is the one that everyone looks happy. So thank you for listening.
Question right here.
Is Parabricks a standalone software package, or is it an API on top of like a GPU library that other people can plug into, or is it both?
So it's a standalone software package right now. We are working on the API to make it easier to use. But right now it's a software that you can run it through command line.
Question right here.
What makes GPUs particularly suited towards genomics?
So GPUs are made for handling pixels. And if you look at your genome, it's all ACGT, different proteins next to each other. So we see similarities in computing for these different type of pixels.
Did you ever talk to the NVIDIA Labs folks that are here in Arbor?
NV Labs folks?
NVIDIA has a labs group here, and Jonathan Cohen, he did all a bunch of
So-
Antor stuff.
I didn't talk with them, but we are well connected to the headquarters. So they like us because we are selling their hardware. So
They have a whole research team here.
okay, so I should talk with them. Yeah, thank you.
Where do you sit in the pipeline? Do you just get like Illumina data, like customers just dump right out of the sequencing into you, and then they get out results? Or?
Yes, so we are right after Illumina machine, and we are moving forward. Like we get that data, we keep analyzing. Right now we have some data to give it to the next steps, but we want to move forward and finally at the end give insights to the physicians.
Do you have a specific vertical or market that you're going after initially?
So we did three customer discovery. We realized that porting, folding, drug simulation, molecular simulation, these are all really computationally intensive applications that they need high performance compute.
It's fantastic that you've got the NSF funding. I'm wondering what kind of feedback you've been getting from the venture capital community in terms of what's it going to take to open that door for you?
So we got a couple of seed funding right now, but we didn't plan seriously to raise a round right now. So we are really working on increasing revenue at this moment. But we have a plan by end of this year to raise our first series round. That's why it's a good time to join us. We haven't raised serious money yet.
Other questions? Time for a couple more.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused about the main focus of your business. So how do you make money, or how are you going to make money in the future? Is it going to be customer-based or like company-based? Get my point?
So our customers are Genomic Research Institute, hospitals, clinics, genomics consuming companies. So they want to do this analysis, and hardware companies sell them hardware. We sell them software that goes with that hardware, and they pay for the software. And our licensing is per year, per box, on-prem, and per genome on the cloud.
So you provide the
Software.
insights from data to the institution?
Yes. So we just provide. So genome data is really dangerous to touch. So we don't touch data. We sell software. They can run our software with it.
Okay.
Last question? Yes.
You alluded to other use cases outside of genomics. What are maybe your top 3 or your next use case or business sector that you're going to pursue once you've nailed this one down?
So there are adjacent markets, as I mentioned. There are protein folding, drug simulation, and stuff like that. There is a chance in financial, but the competitive landscape is pretty busy. It's pretty crowded there. So right now we are all focused on genomics. And after that, it will be going to adjacent market in the healthcare industry.
Awesome. That's all the time we got. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Alrighty, our last presenter is Catalina Kayorwangs from DOE. And DOE simplifies and personalizes student loan management from student entrance to graduation. And a fun fact about Catalina and her team at DOE is that they won the Innovation in Action at U of M, and they also won the Detroit FinTech Challenge, and they're going to be piloting at Wayne State this November.
Thank you. So I'm Catalina, CEO and founder of DOE. I'd like to start with my personal story. This is my best friend. We come from a low-income, single-mom household. However, our lives became significantly different. When I graduated with very little student loan debt, and she unfortunately graduated with about $80,000 of debt. But she didn't know to what degree she was in debt until she received a call from a debt collector. Lysandra is not alone. It aligns with national statistics that 73% of seniors do not know how much they borrowed and to whom they owe it out of the 10 federal loan servicers, so how to pay that back. Essentially, also 50% of undergrads, roughly, are over-borrowing, which means they're borrowing more than they need by about $3,000 per year, and spending it, according to a national survey, on many discretionary line items that could probably be cut. So this is contributing to what we know and hear about often in the news, which is 1 in 8 students are currently in default to the tune of $137 billion. As taxpayers, Bloomberg just released an article, we pay, a lot of our taxpayers' dollars go towards collecting this debt. So here's a case study of a college right down the road, Washtenaw Community College. About 1 in 5 of the students are in default, and they pay about $75 per student to collect on that debt. And it's because students receive packets like this that's supposed to educate them on their exit counseling process. I'd like to do away with that if possible, because the outcomes are that 40 more students over the last 6 years are going into default. So what is our solution? Instead of paying $75 to shake students down when they graduate, I propose something novel. Why don't we educate them and lead them to informed action where they could do something to lower their debt? So this is, I'm going to just show a couple screens from our application. Something as simple as if you borrow $9,000 annually, what does that mean you have to earn in order to pay it back? We don't even tell students that. This is what they have to earn is significantly higher than what most people will actually earn. Why aren't we telling them that? Another thing is if they lower their debt, lower their borrowing by about $500 per semester, that'll lead to about $6,000 in savings over 10 years. We should be telling students this. Not just telling them, but then having them be able to do something about it. Right now at Wayne State and most colleges, the financial aid process is very manual. Can we automate this process? The answer is yes. And allow students to fill out a couple line items, figure out how much they can reduce it by, and make the process automated. Because right now, a third of loan adjustments are manual, and the school's hesitant to recommend it because they don't have the human resources to manage it. So what is the value proposition? It's clear to both the student and the college that we lower the cost to serve students, we help reduce the debt, reduce default rates, and obviously lower the monthly payment, which obviously benefits our customer, the college, because that's also associated with increased alumni giving if the student has less debt. Our competitive landscape, we've dug into a lot of direct-to-student solutions as well as direct-to-college solutions. The fact is simply that there's no solution that's systematically helping students take action to lower their debt while they're in school at the point of origination. Our go-to-market strategy is to pilot with Wayne State and the US, have a partnership with the US Department of Ed. Right now they're launching 50 pilots to basically tell college, tell us, please, how to deal with this because it's getting out of hand. And to partner with trade association and college access networks and launch in states with heavy debt requirements. Our revenue model, we charge about $10 per student, which if you think about how much they're paying to shake students down at the end, it's lowering the cost and get a, depending on the school size, of course, the number of students they have, we break even at about 12 colleges. We're piloting, like I mentioned, at Wayne State, looking to launch next year, and I could talk about our tech development plan in Q&A. Our team, we have an amazing team. Everything from, my expertise is in the education policy side. I'm a Gates-funded Ed Policy Fellow, as well as I'm at the business school. So we have business education, and we have a very heavy design and learning design team. My ask is we have a temporary solution to help with our MVP, but we're looking for someone who wants to be a technical lead that's hyper passionate about addressing this issue. Any introductions to college presidents are helpful. Feedback on this session, mind you, at the happy hour, because I know you're not supposed to give us feedback now. I'd love to take questions. Thank you. Yes?
It seems like the main solution is education and then to reduce the over borrowing. But I mean, trying to hit that like exactly zero and the cost of under borrowing could be substantial too. I mean, would your life be sort of kind of miserable if you under borrowed and you have to make up for that shortfall? And if you have to sort of choose a side, be on the sort of on the side of caution, slight over borrowing might be on the safer side than getting it exactly right or maybe getting on that.
So what's your question?
I guess that was my point.
Okay,
So
okay.
sort of like-
No, we've thought about it and we talked about it at Wayne State. Student retention is really important, but the reality is schools, to protect students from that, are lending more than they need, and they're not customizing loan packages. So a student that goes to WCC Washtenaw can borrow at the same rate as a student coming to UM, even though costs here are much significantly higher. And so schools don't have the capacity to individualize those packages, and so they tend to overborrow. So students make loan request changes. A third of all student visits and requests are to make loan adjustments, and it's all manual, is the point. So could we create a way that helps the school understand how to make these loan packages and allow students to streamline the reduction or changing of the loan package, is the point. I don't know if that helps clarify, but we've definitely thought about that. Thank you.
So the $10 per student that you're collecting, is that something that you're collecting from the colleges, the loan servicers, the government, or the students themselves?
So I'm sorry. So it's definitely from the college, but it's not out of a budgeted line item that doesn't already exist. They already have debt prevention, default prevention funds. Every school that's not at basically every school because it's supported by the state. So taxpayer dollars are going to help colleges not have high default rates because it affects their scorecard, their rating, and there's also the Higher Education Act requires them to fund debt prevention services. So it's not creating a new line item in the budget, is the point. Yes?
How did you choose to target colleges compared to, say, high school when the student is looking at their loan packages and making a decision about, do I go to this school where my loans might not be so great versus this other school?
It was based on a lot of academic research on the best and most effective way to teach someone financial literacy is at the point where it's most needed. It's not before. It's actually ineffective. Schools right now are paying for solutions that give them videos, but if you're not personalizing the information, making it relevant at that moment in time for them to immediately use to plan, then it's irrelevant. And it just becomes a unit in your lesson of life, and most of us don't remember what we learned in college. So it needs to be directly applied and immediate and relevant. So that's why.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a precedent for potentially the government mandating something like this and seeking that over time as you build it?
So right now the government is going into the process of mandating every school that gives out federal loans provide re-education every year. So it's prime time for us to do this because this counts as part of that. So we're at a very prime time. The government is, the Department of Education is thinking right now, what can we do to better help with this process? So we're really at a prime time, and it counts as this. We can basically replace the entrance and exit counseling process. There's a lot of regulatory compliance things that we check the box to that can help make a case for why we're relevant. But thank you for that question. Yes?
Are you strictly an undergraduate, like colleges, or are you also looking into like graduate programs too, like loans with medical school, etc.?
Yeah, graduate programs are definitely relevant. However, default rates are happening most within the undergrad context, because with graduate school, like for example, if you go to medical school, the likelihood of defaulting is very, very, very low. So our case is more compelling in undergrad when you're signing and authorizing a loan when you're barely 18 and you have no understanding, you're just literally signing, you have no idea what you're doing. So that's where we want to focus, because I think it's when students are doing things and they're the least knowledgeable. But yes, there could be a case for graduate as well. Yes?
Last question.
Have you looked at other channels like 529 plans and integrating with that, with financial planning softwares, with the planning? There's obviously an interest and you could implement at the time like you mentioned.
Yeah, we've looked at employee benefit package, because now employers want to hire new grads, are really thinking about their repayment process. So yeah, we've definitely looked at other channels and avenues to consider as well. But either way, no matter what, we really need to do more extensive testing with students or potentially recent grads, which we're going to get to do at Wayne State regardless of which exact way we decide to pivot. It's a huge problem. It's a growing problem, and we know our solution is going to serve no matter which channel or which way we decide to pivot based on our additional customer discovery.
Awesome. Thanks, Catalina.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, well, great pitches. Thanks for everyone who pitched tonight. Thanks for the great questions and interacting well. So now is our time for our post-pitch announcements. So if you have an announcement to make, you can come up and line up right over here along the whiteboard. Feel free to, you can promote a meetup or a position you're hiring for, a collaborator you're looking for on a project, or an event coming up. So line up right here. The first person can step right up here and start their announcement, and then you can also write your contact info or your event info on this whiteboard over here. So as people are leaving, they can grab that. So you can step right up and get started.
I just want to let people know about an event happening Thursday evening here in town at Spark on Liberty. It's a new Enterprise Forum meeting. It's a monthly meeting. I'll have a pitch like usual. The interesting thing is that this month, they have a special panel about fundraising from a panel of experts who know a lot about that, particularly for early stage startups. There might be some people in this room who could benefit from that.
All right, all.
I'm looking for 1 or 2 web developers to work on a data analytics application for the government. So if you have some experience and want to make some extra money on the side, please come see me, or I'll put my email up here.
Hello, my name is Federico Mendez. I am a professor here at the law school. I'm with the Entrepreneurship Clinic. Just letting you know, we both host this and we're offering free legal services to the community. We have an application process. But I also want to know, inform you guys that we are conducting campus-wide office hours at the Zale Learning Institute every Monday. I believe it should be from 3 to 4, but I can double back on those. Office hours every week at Tech Arb from 3 to 4 on Wednesdays, and office hours at Center for Entrepreneurship every other week, starting next week on Tuesdays from 2:15 to 3:15. Feel free to come up and talk to me afterwards, and I too can leave my email on the board. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tina Watson. I work for DuPont in Lansing, an IT service provider. One of our clients, Delta Dental, is in Okemos, is going to be hiring about 50 people. So we have a couple of job fairs coming up in October. They're not posted yet on the website, but if you go to DuPont.com or Facebook or LinkedIn and find us there, there will be some information posted, or see me after the meeting. They're looking for everything: Java developers, architects, BAs, Scrum Masters, a little bit of everything.
Hi all, my name's Mike. 2 quick announcements. First, I'm the co-founder of TrueJob, which is the software that powers the Ann Arbor Spark job board. So if you're looking for a job in the area, maybe at a technology company, I'd encourage you to check out that resource on the Ann Arbor Spark website. Secondly, I also do work with a few local startups as a software consultant. So if you have an idea that you're working on, maybe you aren't quite ready to hire a full-time person, I'd be interested in talking to you. I'll be around.
Hi, Lisa Palmer. I think I might not need any of you because I might go to him. But serial entrepreneur, working on my 3rd startup. We are in the lifestyle, social commerce space. Basically bringing influencers and creating products for influencers, looking for developers, front end, back end. We're already fundraising, and that is looking positive, but always looking for other investment opportunities. Also looking for a freelance chief financial officer who can start to kind of project beyond beta. We will be going into our beta in the spring, and we're kind of looking for somebody to do some projections for our Beyond Beta round. So I'll put my information on there, and may grab pizza. So thanks.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Miller, and I am the events manager for the Center for Digital Engagement at EMU, and I'm here to promote the Digital Marketing Workshop 2018, which will take place this year, November 16th, with the theme being Your Life in Data, which we think is a great topic for this audience. We have put together a lineup including experts from companies like Pinterest Automotive, Domino's Pizza, General Motors, and Dual Security. You can register now at thedigitalmarketingworkshop.com with code EARLY for a discounted rate of $60, which includes breakfast, lunch, and all of the content. I will leave the flyers over by the board if you would like more details.
Hey everyone, my name's Ife and this is Arwa. We together build a tech company called CU. So CU is a mobile app that connects people instantly and nearby. So as a user, you can create or join any local activity in less than 1 minute and be part of in minutes. So if you are, just be part of in minutes. Let me just start over again. My name is Ife and this is Arbor. We together build a company called CU. CU is a mobile app that connects people instantly and nearby. As a user, you can join or create an event in seconds and be part of it in minutes. If you want to So the activity can be as simple as drinking coffee, grab a food, and you're working together, work out together, and study together. So if you are new to the town, you don't know anybody, you want to make more friends, or you want to do anything with anybody at any time, so you can just do on our platform. It's super easy, and if you want to learn more about what we do, and so there are some flyers, and welcome to talk to us. And also, more importantly, we just launched, and we want to hire some campus ambassadors and promoters to promote our app. So if you are an individual who's social and outgoing and interested in working at the startup environment, so we welcome. All right, talk to you. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Diane, and I'm the co-founder of a local nonprofit that runs healthcare hackathons. My assumption is that about a third or half of the people in the room have already heard me pitch this. My 3 co-founders have all left the States. I'm by myself, and I can't do it by myself. And after 3 years, I think it's also time to hand over the reins to the next generation. So if you want to lead an awesome nonprofit that does stuff for the community, it's a healthcare hackathon. I'll write the website on there. My contact information is on the website. My name's Diane, Ann Arbor Health Hacks. And I'll be at happy hour, obviously.
Hi. 2 years ago, I was a mechanical engineer working as a project manager for an automotive supplier. I got tired of that. I taught myself how to program. Now I'm an independent developer, and among my customers is an automotive OEM. So I've got a long-term but intermittent project with them, so I've got some time to work on other projects. I kind of focus on data engineering, data science, and business intelligence. Let me know if I can help you. Thank you.
All right, my name is Alex Rustamano. I am a postdoc here at Michigan. I've been working on research related to assistive technology for the blind for the last 5 or so years, and we're just now starting to think about commercialization. So I'm looking for resources in the social entrepreneurship space. We really need help with early stage hardware development and getting a product from benchtop to productization phase. So if you have any ideas, come talk to me. I'll be at the pizza event. So thank you.
Hey, I'm Doug. 8 years ago, started actually this event, but also Duo Security. We just might have seen the announcement. Cisco's intent to buy Duo, $2.5 billion. So I want to buy pizza tonight. So if you guys want to join, any starving students, any starving founders, come join us. It's on me.
Awesome, that's way to end strong.
The first email address, is that 00 or 00?
00.
Okay.
Thank you. That's great. Alrighty, so in conclusion, we're wrapping up. Next A2NewTech is Tuesday, October 16th. October is reserved for Venture for America companies, like I mentioned. So a couple of tech companies and a few other product types. So this will be fun for us to mix it up a little bit, hear from a little bit different type of people. We do have spaces open for pitches in November. So if you or somebody you know should pitch, let us know at organizers@a2newtech.org. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, you can find us on madeina2.com/Slack to join the Slack, or you can check out madeina2.com to see more information about Ann Arbor tech companies. If you're not familiar with that site, check it out, get familiar. A lot of great info there for you. So contact us with your pitch idea for November, and then we'll see you at Pizza House after this. That's at 618 Church Street. And Dominic's was a 21 plus venue. This one is not. So if you're under 21, feel free to join us tonight. We'd love to have you. But thanks everybody, and we'll see you back here next month. I have one more announcement. I forgot, one more thing. Next month, we're not going to be in this room. We're going to be downstairs in self-help room 0225. We'll put that on the meetup channel, but I just want to make sure that you catch that as well. So next month, downstairs, not up here.